Ethan had a dream, and he awoke from this dream. This was in 2019.
Wow.
And it was like a nightmarish kind of dream.
Wow.
And when he woke up is when he wrote what would be Bad Man. He wrote, I went to see my brother just the other day. We went down to the sacred place where we learned to pray. And I saw my sister standing there, her hands upon her face. She reached right out to comfort me, blah, blah, blah. Run, run, run. Bad man coming through with a gun. Because in his nightmare, it was like some stuff like that. Some real, like, some not too happy stuff. And was it militant? Was it, non-militant? I mean, I don't know. It's for Ethan's mind. But he wrote this melody or whatever. So it was in November. 11th month, right? Shout out Scorpios out there. I'm Pisces, but so it was in November, and then he comes out. He didn't really go out that much in his life at the time, and he goes out, and when he goes out, that's where he meets me. I'm rapping some of the songs that I would later come out with down the line, but I didn't even really want to rap that night. So there's a whole layers to this whole story where I was like convinced to like go and perform by this guy named Chris Barnhart. And he was a promoter of this thing, and I was in a band at the time called Dirty Tribe, and I just really wanted to hide in the band. And Torbjorn probably remembers I hit him up to try to record my band, like produce my band, and he was like you should go and go to like a live setting thing. And we were kind of like a Sublime kind of thing. And in my heart, true life, this is important for the story, since I was a little kid, I've always loved all these styles of music, and obviously I'm a child of hip hop, like Beat Street, like hip hop, like oozing it, I used to take zippers and just to try to hear that scratch sound. And I was but I always wanted to be in like a Sublime or a Smash Mouth or a Sugar Ray or one of these bands I saw in the 90s that were blending the live guitar with all that stuff with the turntables, and they were having so much fun. And everybody loved all these records. And when I heard I Just Want to Fly the first time, and it was like cuts happening with a Jamaican, like, my mind was like, yo, like, I knew I was never going to dye my hair with the frosted tips like Mark McGrath, but because, but I knew that I wanted to do something. So it was funny how in that era of my life, I was really trying to do that band because I was trying to stay in the lane of just that Sublime-esque frequency. Ethan, that night when he sees me rap, he comes and talks to me afterwards, and he's like, the music touched my soul.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I'd love to work with you. And I didn't really know who he was at the time. I didn't know he was like this factor. I didn't really know. But I go meet up with him like 2 days later, and he shows me Bad Man. And then I had just like laid to it. And it was just after that moment is when he invited me to be on this Sublime shit. A Sublime cover album, a tribute album called The House That Bradley Built, which is it's like this big, it went like #1 on the Billboard reggae album charts, like when it dropped. It has like Common Kings and Pepper and Iration and all these reggae acts that are far bigger and far better paid, right? Than, like with representation and stuff. But it's because of he had that nightmare, this and that ironically, remember, I was trying to hide in that Sublime frequency. And what God did is I ended up literally by saying yes and being willing to do something I didn't want to do, which was rap my Sean The Shaman. I didn't even want, sorry about my language, I didn't even want to do Perseus, Love Is Free, Solomon's Temple, records that people have heard. I didn't want to do them. I didn't want to do District 10. And now I have a band and repertoire, and I play music, and these are my songs, and the shirts say Love Is Free and this, that, and the third. But at the time,
great shirt, by the way.
I don't know what it was. Thanks, man. You wearing it. I love it. I didn't know at the time, and I think that there was just something real magical. So seeing that song come to fruition, now the song has traveled. So that was 2019. We're here 4 years later.
Right.
The record hasn't actually come out yet, but it's been made, and it's sitting on this slotted space on his album, which is his first album in like a long time, since he was touring the world with like Michael Franti and Slightly Stupid and these people. So I'm just really thankful to be a part of that. And I'm thankful that Chris saw something in me to rap that night, and that Ethan came up, and it just is a beautiful thing. And I think that sometimes some things, I feel like I believe in destiny, and I believe like as a kid, I knew I wanted to be in that space. I had no idea one day I would like be talking to you know, Bradley's son from Sublime. I'll be talking to like the actual people, John Phillips, who found the band, and you know, I don't think that but there's really no limit. If your imagination, if you're magnetized to something, like for some reason you're really interested in subject matter, whatever it is, like if you think about it enough, or like you really love it enough, it's crazy. It is really crazy how it happens. Because the world will just pull it out of you. I was in the Army. I was a combat medic, jumping out of aircraft. I got hurt. You know, I got hurt in the 82nd Airborne, jumped out of airplanes, and I got found to be. I got sent to this detail, and it was 400 young E4 and below, such as myself. It was like 2010 at the time, and I got selected. Out of those 400, I was one of 4 picked to sing a cappella.
Wow.
And that some music found me, right? Like you think about something enough. Ethan found me, like, you know, it finds